Welcome back to the STEM and the Gap podcast, where we try to bridge the gap between the majority and the minority in STEM fields. Today, we have a special guest episode where we have Chhorvy Sumsethi, a case manager for the Massachusetts Department of Mental Health, having a conversation with us. How are you doing today, Ms. Sumsethi?
Hi, good afternoon. Actually, good evening, Gavin,
Yeah,
and thank you for having me here. I am
yeah,
doing very well. How about yourself?
I'm good. Yeah, it's good to hear you're doing well, and we can get right into it. Just for our listeners, could you introduce yourself and give an overview of who you are?
Okay, yes, if you may hear my name, I have a very long name. Um, Chhorvy Sumsethi, that's my full name, but everyone or I am known here in the US as Chorvy. So to get easy to remember, you can think about the fish and Chorvy, and you cut the and out, that will be Chorvy. That's my name.
Okay.
And what else you want to know about me? I'm 45. I am married and I have two boys, age like you, 16, and my youngest is 14-year old. I am a state employee. I work for the
Hmm.
Department of Mental Health for coming this June. That will be my 14 years working for the department, and I take
Wow.
to work for DMH. I really do like my work a lot.
Nice. That's great to
And
hear.
my full title, my official title is the Human Services Coordinator. A lot of time to be kind of easy to navigate through. People know better about the role of a case manager. That's what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What first drew you into working into the mental and social sciences, social services field?
Um, Actually, it's really good question. Let's go back to my background. So I graduated with a bachelor degree in literature and in Cambodia, and then I went to France to continue my master degree in
Mm,
international relation and international development. So I got married in 2007 to a person who is currently my husband. He worked and live in Lowell.
mm,
So back then I did not speak English almost at all. So I have to move here after I got married. And if you can recall, I mean, you were probably not. No, you're not born yet at that time. The U.S. was in the very bad financial crisis, the
mhm.
subprime crisis. So it's a lot of job losses. House was A lot of houses were foreclosed. So I
Right.
arrived. That's when I arrived. So it's not in a good. The U.S. was not in a good shape at all.
Yeah.
So therefore, I was trying to look for a job in my field, and it was
Mhm.
very, very hard.
Yeah.
So the first job I got was working in Revere, East Boston area,
Mhm.
and in the mental health field. At first, I didn't like it, but then later on, I think starting my second year, I start really liking the job.
Mhm.
Of course, it was still challenging for me. I had to learn a lot because I did not have any background in the field at all. So
Right.
basically, I learned from scratch, with working with my patients.
Mhm.
But now, 14 years later, I am very grateful that God brought me to the field because I do um, think that it is not an easy job, but it's very rewarding.
Mm.
Every single time my patient feel good or achieve something, and I
Right.
feel so great, so great. I don't know, it's very hard to explain, but it's very rewarding. I love it.
That's great to hear. Could you tell us a little bit about of the day to day of the job?
So, I do care coordination basically. So,
Mhm.
um, I am the person we work. It depends on people because each of the client of patients are at different needs level, and also their
Right.
independent are also different. Some people they are pretty advanced, and some people needs a lot of hands-ons. So therefore, my assistant or my work also depend on their ability to execute task.
Right.
So for those who have difficulty executing tasks or get things done or navigating the care system, because we do have a complicated care system.
Yeah.
And so I help them, it could be one on one. I meet with them in person and then kind of go through what they need and then access the need or the resources they need.
Right.
Or um, if the person is at a high level of functioning,
Mhm.
then I work at a different pace. So I would provide them, resources or treatment or I would say services that they need. And then I, explain them how to access them.
Right.
I explain my patient what I mean, my client how to access those services. And then
Mhm.
I follow up. Let's say I'll set up, okay, so we're gonna do this and this and that. So you will call 1, 2, 3, and then next week I will call you, to check about
Right.
the outcome. So if let's say they meet the outcome, right? We set the goal, okay, next week you
Mhm.
should be able to do this and this and that. And if my client are able to consistently doing so, then we're gonna discuss about discharge.
Right.
So it's really depend on, I could follow somebody for many years and I
Mhm.
could follow someone for just 6 months to a
Wow.
year. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's a, as you said, it was rewarding, but it is a difficult job. What sort of skills would you say are important for your role or in someone in your mental health type of field?
I think having the heart for it.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
most important. I mean, I don't think you can do the job without having like empathy, compassion toward others. I think that's the number one quality that a person, somebody who do the social work type of thing need to have is
Right.
having the compassion and empathy for others. Um, Other quality I think in the work itself for me is time management because my work involves 50% at the office and 50% I work in the field with the clients, right? So
Mhm.
therefore, even though you work in the field with the client, paperwork need to be done, and I have deadline to comply with to
Right.
meet. So then, and you can fall behind easily with the work I do because crisis could happen.
Mhm.
I can, meet, go in to meet someone, and then the next 2 hours I'm gonna be in the ED, the emergency department. So things are so unpredictable at times. So that's why time management, I think, is we need to have that to be successful in the work I do.
That's great to hear. And obviously in this podcast we talk a lot about, minorities and their involvement in STEM, and obviously you're a minority with an involvement in the mental health space. How important would you say diversity is in that area, as you've, with your years of experience?
Okay. Good questions. So I work. We have different offices because we are the State Department, right?
Mhm.
Um, I mean, we are the state agency in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, so we have different site office. And my office happened to be the most diverse office.
Mhm.
So because we do serve a very diverse population. So in my office, we have Khmer speaking case manager, we have Spanish speaking, we have French speaking, and you see all colors. You have Asian, you have black, you have white,
Right.
and we all come to work together to serve our clients and also to create a very nurturing and understanding workforce in the office. And
Right.
and I love my office in particular because it's just so you feel like everyone come together like at staff meeting or we have holiday party, you see everyone.
Right.
And I feel pretty so in term of, I mean, I cannot, it's a good question in a way where I work in the area, so we cover Lowell. My
Mhm.
office cover Lowell, Chancellor, Tewksbury, Tingsboro, those like surrounding of the lower area. So therefore, I have access a lot to like the diversity part of demo, the location I serve. You know what I mean?
Right.
So therefore, I don't know if another case manager, minority case manager like me working in, I don't know, the area where is primarily, serving white population. So I don't know. But to
Right.
me, I do not have or experience any uh unpleasant experience or any discrimination or anything like that. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I mean, yeah, I've heard lots of stories about obviously, people feeling unrepresented, but it is good to see that that it is a diverse space. Obviously, you have a lot of people that come into your office that you work with. Do you see or do you think that has any type of positive impact considering how diverse your workspace is on the clients that you have
Oh,
coming in?
definitely, definitely, Gavin, definitely, because working with being able to work with a person that share the same cultural
Right.
background like you. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Um, it does affect number one trust.
Hmm.
Trust is, when you see people who look like you, speak
Right.
the same language, know what you talk about on a certain things, right? Or understand where you come from, why you get this, or your upbringing, or your history and stuff like that. It's
Hmm.
kind of like get connected because the work I do, we need also to build trust. If
Right.
if I cannot build trust with my client, no matter how hard I try to work, it won't be productive.
Right.
Yeah, and also in the work I do, we need the two people working together. I cannot work really hard, and my client can not, doesn't do work hard enough. And then we
Right.
don't produce the good outcome. So both have to and to be able to work together, and then produce a good outcome. You have to have trust. Be able
Right.
to build trust. Therefore, the trust start with what? Start with, I mean, of course, you don't need to be an Asian to work with an Asian to trust each other, right?
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
I think it make it easier. How about that? I
Right.
make trust so you gain trust easier if you speak the same language or, as I said, look alike or something like that. It's just like you. It's
Right.
common sense. It's like so natural. Like you
Exactly.
probably born easier with a certain person because that person might look like you and you
Right.
kind of like, it's like that. So and that's why me working in Lowell, it's like a plus. I love it. I probably experience more more challenges if I work in another demographic area, but I work in Lowell and I serve diverse population, so it's kind of a plus for me. So
Right.
make my work really easy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've noticed that too at my school. Obviously, there you have a lot of people that are immigrants that are coming in from countries everywhere that don't speak much English, right? And it helps to have that someone that they can trust that speaks the same language as them or has the
Yeah.
same background as them that they
Mm-hmm.
can really have that connection with. It's really cool to see. And speaking of that connection, I know as you said, it takes heart that connection is strong. Is that what keeps you motivated in such a difficult job? Is that what, gets you to get up in bed and, know that you're doing it for a good cause?
Well, you got my answer, Gavin. I did it for a good cause, and then
Mhm.
every time my client achieves something, not big, very small, even very small, I feel so good. And I tell them that, and sometimes I like to tell my client this. I work in the
Mhm.
field and I work with you because I have faith in you. I do believe that with the right support and treatment, you can live a meaningful life like other people, regardless of the challenge you face. That's what I
Right.
tell them. Not all of them, some of them. And I truly believe that in my heart that if I support them and work with them in a productive way, right? They
Mhm.
should be able to overcome challenges.
Right.
And I don't know, I mean, Winston can tell you a lot about that, but I really do love my job a lot. I don't mind working really hard because I like to see the result. And the result I see is the well-being of my clients. Yeah.
Right. And it's great that you love your job, and I'm really happy about that. A lot of young kids, because this podcast is directed towards youth, are struggling to figure out what will really, make them have a passion for what they do instead of, slaving away at the job that they don't really enjoy. How would you, you know, uh, get what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about social work or psychology or anything really involved in STEM? How to get involved, how to find, their niche, their area where they can really thrive and enjoy their job just as you do.
Okay, I think first you have to see if you have a um as I said, it start with this type of job specifically, right? It start with a heart. And my site director, he said that a lot. You cannot
Mhm.
do this work without a heart. So then you have to like helping people. You have to so feeling in yourself if you are that type of person.
Right.
And also listening because we are like the medical doctor basically, but people come to us is more they need our help in another domain of life
Right.
versus the medical doctor, because you don't see people who are well going to see the doctor, right, Gavin?
Right. Yeah.
Same like with us, when people usually they need help, that's why they come to us. So you have to have the listening ears. So
Mhm.
you listen without, we call it non-judgmental listening. So you listen the as what they describe to you, not judging them. Just listen to their needs. And that's the number one thing. It's so important. That's a starting point. So you have the heart for the
Right.
person. Number two, you have listening ears. So let's say yeah, young people like you, if you want
Mhm.
to go in the field, listen to your heart first. If you are that type of person who like to hear, people coming to you about,
Right.
issues and stuff like that. If you have that ear to listen, number one, and if you want to help, number two, and if you have these two quality, that's the basic that I think you could. And, another thing is also you need patience.
Right.
It's a lot of patience, right? Because sometimes, as I describe, my clients sometimes they have high ability of functioning, and sometimes things are slow. So you're gonna have to be to accept that. Okay, it's fine. Baby step
Right.
that is still a step. Small is still a step forward. So you have to, sometimes as the worker, you would like the best for your client. You want this much, but your client can only go to this far. So you have to
Right.
accept it and work at their own pace. And but that's what we call in the field, meet them where they are at.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my advice. But look, you know yourself if you can do the
Right.
work.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. It's a great message for the youth, and I'm sure they'll be inspired hearing this. And I think that's a great place to put on that. Really listen to your heart. Where because a lot of people will tell you a lot of different things, but I think really listening inside to what you have to what you think you can bring to the world, what your talents are, what your purpose for being here on this earth is. I think that's really important, and think is yeah. So thank you so much for a great conversation. That was really good to have. Be talking with you again soon, I'm sure. And for those of you watching, be sure to follow us on Instagram. We're also on Spotify if you're on YouTube, and vice versa. And thank you, Chorvy, for talking with me. It was great inspiration for the youth, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you for having me here, Gavin. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. It was great to have you. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
All
Take
right.
care.
Thank you.